Kelly Ripa and Mark Consuelos have been a beloved couple in American television for decades, known for their charisma, warmth, and infectious energy on screen. Fans tuned in daily to see their playful banter, heartfelt interactions, and joyful routines, feeling as though they were part of the couple's life. But behind the cameras, Kelly had been carrying a quiet weight, balancing the pressures of live television with her personal needs. On this particular morning, the familiar rhythm of laughter and scripted fun gave way to something profoundly raw. What unfolded was more than a farewell. It was a deeply human moment that resonated across the nation, reminding viewers that even icons face limits and must honor their own well-being. The tension before the announcement. The morning began like any other in the bustling New York studio, with bright lights flickering on and cameras rolling. The audience clapped, unaware of the emotional storm about to unfold. Kelly stepped onto the stage, radiant yet visibly fragile, her hands trembling slightly as she held cue cards. The usual playful energy felt off, her iconic smile lingering too long as if concealing something deeper. Mark, her husband and co-host, sensed the shift immediately, his concern evident. The first few minutes of the show proceeded normally, with casual banter and Halloween-themed jokes, but the rhythm was broken. There was an unspoken heaviness in the air, a tension that the cameras could not hide, signaling that something monumental and personal was about to be shared. The moment of truth. After the first commercial break, Kelly took a deep breath, clasped her hands, and addressed the audience directly. Her voice wavered, cracking with emotion as she prepared to share something profoundly personal. The studio fell silent, with even the crew pausing to witness the moment. Kelly began reflecting on the show's significance in her life, describing it as her home and family for over 2 decades. She acknowledged that while the journey had been beautiful, it was time for it to reach its natural conclusion. Viewers and staff alike could sense the gravity of the announcement. The authenticity in her words, the trembling of her hands, and the slight quiver in her voice transformed the moment from a simple broadcast into a deeply human experience that viewers would never forget. Mark's support and the emotional weight. Mark's reaction moved from confusion to quiet understanding. He reached out to hold Kelly's hand, a gesture of love and support, but she signaled that she needed to continue. Their connection was palpable, reflecting a marriage built on decades of trust and partnership. The audience, many of whom had grown up watching Kelly, felt the weight of the moment keenly. Her words carried honesty, love, and finality, as she admitted this was her last day on live television. Gasps and murmurs swept through the audience. Even seasoned viewers and staff were visibly moved, and Mark's presence reminded everyone that Kelly was not alone in this life-changing decision. The shared vulnerability of this moment made it clear that this was not an act, but a sincere farewell. The heartfelt goodbye. Kelly continued, explaining her deep love for the show and the audience, while also emphasizing her need to prioritize personal well-being. She described pouring from an empty cup and the exhaustion that comes from maintaining a public persona while neglecting oneself. The producers remained silent, knowing this was not a scripted farewell but a genuine expression of emotion. Her honesty resonated with everyone present. When she turned to Mark, she thanked him for being her rock, her partner, and her friend, acknowledging that even the strongest need rest. The audience erupted in a mixture of applause and tears, witnessing a farewell that was sincere, vulnerable, and profoundly moving, signaling the end of an era for both the show and its viewers. Public reaction and social media explosion. The moment Kelly announced her departure quickly went viral. Fans around the world shared clips across TikTok, X, and Instagram, expressing heartbreak and disbelief. Hashtags like #ThankYou, Kelly Ripa, and #Kelly Ripa trended globally, capturing the collective sentiment of generations who had grown up with her presence. Viewers shared personal stories of mornings spent watching Kelly, describing the farewell as a deeply emotional experience. Social media became a space for collective mourning and gratitude, emphasizing the profound connection that had been built over decades. The public response underscored how television personalities, while seemingly distant, can profoundly impact people's daily lives and emotions. Kelly's decision to leave became a global conversation, reflecting both the power of media and the deep bond she fostered with her audience. Inside the studio, reactions of colleagues behind the cameras, ABC executives and producers were caught off guard. Many had no prior knowledge of Kelly's plan to leave, sparking urgent conversations about the implications for the show. One producer asked in disbelief if Kelly had just quit on live TV. The spontaneity and honesty of the moment created a mix of awe, concern, and admiration among the staff. As the show returned from commercial, Mark sat protectively beside Kelly, confirming her decision. She explained that this was where it was right to end her journey, at the place where it began. The moment highlighted not only Kelly's courage, but also the respect and empathy displayed by those around her, emphasizing that the farewell was a carefully human and profoundly emotional act. The personal struggle behind the decision. According to insiders, Kelly's decision to leave had been months in the making. She had been struggling privately, balancing her love for the show with a need for personal peace. This departure was not about ratings, money, or public perception. It was about reclaiming life and self-care after years of commitment. The emotional weight of constant performance and public expectation had become overwhelming, and leaving represented an act of self-preservation. Kelly's choice was a reminder that even those who seem most invincible must honor their own well-being. Her quiet determination to step away reflected a deep awareness of personal limits, resilience, and courage, transforming what might have been seen as an abrupt exit into a powerful statement of authenticity. Leaving the studio and facing the world. After the broadcast, Kelly and Mark left the studio hand in hand. Flashing cameras and shouted questions greeted them. Yet Kelly remained composed, offering no immediate answers. The couple drove in silence, the city lights reflecting like unspoken emotions. This private moment captured the weight of leaving a career and routine that had defined Kelly for decades. At home, millions replayed her tearful goodbye, mourning the end of an era and reflecting on their own connections to her presence. For Kelly, it was a first breath of freedom, a release from the relentless performance of public life. For viewers, it was a shared experience of loss, gratitude, and admiration for her vulnerability and honesty. Finding freedom and moving forward. Kelly's farewell was more than an ending. It marked a new beginning. She reclaimed personal space, emotional energy, and time with Mark, demonstrating the importance of self-care even amidst fame and responsibility. By stepping away, she showed that prioritizing oneself does not diminish accomplishments or love for others. Their journey emphasized the beauty of choosing authenticity over expectation, rest over relentless performance, and connection over public validation. In the quiet moments after the announcement, they rediscovered intimacy, shared laughter, and gratitude for the ordinary parts of life. Kelly's decision serves as a reminder that freedom and peace are cultivated when we honor our own needs, even after decades of devotion to others. Conclusion: a human moment of courage. Ripa's tearful, unplanned farewell on live television was a testament to courage, honesty, and humanity. It reminded the world that even beloved public figures must prioritize personal peace, and that vulnerability can be profoundly powerful. Mark's unwavering support underscored the strength of partnership in moments of transition. The impact of her decision extended far beyond the studio, resonating with millions of viewers who recognized their own struggles and sacrifices in her story. By choosing to leave with honesty and grace, Kelly demonstrated that endings can be both poignant and liberating, and that true strength often lies in embracing the uncertainty of change with love, dignity, and courage.